all I want to hear from Karen Bass is thank you and I'm sorry. But instead, this is what we're hearing from the LA mayor, who already has utterly failed her city as she sat there watching it burn from Africa. But now she says she senses a political opportunity to be opposed to Trump, even though he's trying to keep people safe. And here's what she said in SOT 12.
We are going to fight for all Angelenos, regardless of when they got here, whether they have papers or not. We are a city of immigrants, and this impacts hundreds of thousands of Angelenos.
We're going to fight for all Angelenos.
Whether they have papers.
It's like people are getting killed. Their children are getting molested.
No, it's just as if this is some sort of clerical error, Megyn. Whether they have papers or not. Yeah, that's right. It's just some administrative error. We lost your form in the mail. No. They're illegal,
right. The DMV.
Karen Bass. They're in violation. Yes, exactly. They're in violation of 8 U.S.C. 1312 in addition to many other federal laws. But here's what I find most fascinating, is that Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom, you could tell that they're being held hostage by a force. We don't quite know what this force is, but it is the power of intersectionality. If you look at some of these riots, yes, we have kind of the cartel, the La Raza types. They want open borders. They want occupation. They want destruction. But you've also started to see another type of force and political dynamic pop up in these protests, which is you are starting to see the Palestinian Gaza headwear start to pop open, right? As if that's what this is all about, right? Somehow this is about Gaza. They'll make it about Gaza. And then thirdly, you start to see the white liberal. All of a sudden, you're starting to see a bunch of white liberals show up because they need purpose in their life. They don't go to church. They're not getting married. They don't have kids. So they need something to keep them going. And boy, they're bringing the band back together after the Summer of Love in 2020. So did someone say that we're burning a Wendy's tonight? Count me in. And all of a sudden, they start mobilizing. And that trifecta of a political force obviously is bigger than we have realized, because any leader who cares about their people would stand up to this group of bandits and this mob that is engulfing Los Angeles yet again. Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass, they feel as if they have an obligation to the lawless. They have an obligation to this insurgency. And it is very revealing that the base of the Democrat Party, not some sort of fringe element, but the base, the fundamental ingredient of the Democrat Party is street violence. I wish it wasn't that case, Megyn, because she should be saying, we want LAPD, we're going to go after these riots, thank you for sending in the National Guard. Instead, she's acting like it's a paperwork error. Gavin Newsom is suing President Trump. Again, he should be saying, thank you, President Trump, for sending the Marines and sending the federal government. Instead, we are seeing two high-profile political leaders pander to the most sinister and dark elements of the Democrat Party. I want to make sure I get this in so I don't forget it. Under no circumstances, I'm calling the shot right now, should Los Angeles be allowed to host the 2028 Olympics. Period. Hard stop. We should pull it. It should go to some other American city, go to Dallas, go to Miami, go anywhere but LA. But if you cannot put out fires while you intentionally ignore them and you elevate DEI, fire practices over the well-being of your citizens, and if you basically cheer on the incineration of your city, that is a mockery. It should not be put on the world's display under any circumstances whatsoever.
Yes. I mean, we're looking at a very powerful set of pictures here of Los Angeles burning and the Mexican flag everywhere. I mean, it's really crazy how emboldened they are to fly their Mexican flag. What are they doing here? Why are they here? Because they want to take advantage of our dollars, our economy,
Bingo.
And our healthcare and other public benefits that they get, that we're giving them. So it's like they're on the public dole, most of them, and we're fine with that apparently, or at least Californians seem to be, but they hate us. They actually miss Mexico.
Totally.
We'll go home. It's like 2 hours by car at most. You're good. It's so easy for you to go back home to the people you seem to love so much. And so here's another sample, just because I love the sound that shows you how people are feeling. This is California Representative Norma Torres, who it's quick, but she's got thoughts on ICE coming in to try to clean up her city. SOT 11.
ICE get the fuck out of LA so that order can be restored.
Okay. Get the F out. Right? Elected representative of the people. Right? This is what they want. So this is how all the left is going to paint this, from Karen Bass to Gavin Newsom to this nutcase Norma Torres and beyond, because we're already seeing federal officials like senators weigh in on this as it's President Trump who's over the top with his knee-jerk authoritarian response. The New York Times today, with a similar sort of take. Hold on, I want to find it. They wrote as follows. Trump invoked this rarely used provision of the U.S. Code. No one can argue it's not legal because it's very clearly legal what he's doing. They say he can do it if there's a rebellion against the authority of the government of the United States, which is the federal government, which is what Trump's saying we're seeing here. No such rebellion's underway, says the Times. As the governor's spokesman and others have noted, Americans in cities routinely cause more property damage after their sports teams win or lose. Trump's idea of law and order is strong-handed, disproportionate intervention that adds chaos, anxiety, and risk to already tense situations. That's going to be the left-wing line on it. We've heard a couple people make that point about, looks like an Eagles game, the aftermath of an Eagles game. My husband's an Eagles fan. We always laugh at and also roll our eyes at the over-the-top behavior after the Eagles games. I don't remember anyone trying to kill police officers and law enforcement as they just drove their cars by, like car after car, throwing dangerous materials over the overpass at them directly with full force as they pass, or commercial-grade fireworks at their bodies. I don't recall that.
No, not at all. And this is, of course, they're trying to minimize it. And it's that old celebration parallax, right, that Michael Anton instructed us, who's phenomenal. It's not happening, but it's good that it is. So it's not happening that they're burning down the city, but it's good that it is because it's about time that someone fights back against Trump. You're like, wait a second, I thought you just said it wasn't happening. They're going to try to make this spread to cities across. No, exactly. They're going to try to make this spread to cities across the country. And this is a reaction to a couple things. Of course, the beginning of mass deportations. And you better believe we're only going to ratchet up more. We're going to go into more neighborhoods. We're going to find more criminal gangbangers. We're going to find more cartel members because it looks like we're barely touching the surface. Based on what we saw yesterday, we are barely touching the surface. But number two, and I think this is very important, Claudia Steinbaum, the president of Mexico.
Steinbaum.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she said the big, beautiful bill needs massive, widespread response that we're going to activate in America. Interesting. It's funny that a president of a foreign nation is able to activate sleeper cells in our country because in the big, beautiful bill is a tax on remittances. Understand that remittances are tens of billions of dollars a year, which is people that come to the United States illegally. They'll work and steal jobs from native-born Americans, send back money from America to Mexico, basically in a parasitic type relationship. We're going to extract money from America and send it to Mexico. And they know that this is a major part of the Mexican economy. And finally, the big, beautiful bill is going to tax that. Sorry, if you're here illegally and you're going to send money back to Mexico, we're not going to put up with that. But look, why are they here, Megyn? Why is it that they're waving the Mexican flag? It's not because they love America. They care about our values. They don't believe in e pluribus unum or liberty. They don't know Thomas Jefferson from George Washington. They're here for one reason, because we're rich. That's it. It's because we're rich and we're suckers. That's it. We have a wealthy nation that was, and we are suckers that just keep on writing checks. And again, we're a generous nation. We're a Christian nation. We should continue to be those things. But nowhere does it say in the scriptures, should you allow yourself to be repeatedly taken advantage of while you are mocked and while they are taunting you for taking money from you and taking treasure while your own people are suffering in great measure and great number. And so this really is a early moment with very powerful aesthetics and visuals and optics that shows the two camps in this country. One wants law, order, and a prioritization of American citizens first. The other is an open border, criminal first type agenda that prioritizes arson and the disorder deconstruction of the United States of America.
And you finally have a president who's going to fight back against this. Trump is saying,
Yes.
This is not going to happen. We're not letting this go. Like, this is not going to be another BLM 2020 situation.
Correct.
We are going to make sure that we take a handle on these things, and you're not going to be permitted to come into this country and cause damage to our law enforcement, cause damage to our property, and get away with it. Here, you've said twice now that this is going to spread, and that's what the Democrats want. And we actually have proof of that. Here's Democratic Senator Chris Murphy yesterday from on or maybe is it today? It's today on Morning Joe this morning. Take a listen.
I saw this. Yeah.
My first message is to keep it peaceful. I mean, obviously, this is a moment where we have to be on the streets all over the country to protest what's happening to our immigrant community, but more broadly to protest what's happening to our democracy. This is the most corrupt administration in the history of the country, and we are going to rise to this moment by being out there on the streets. There's nothing in what he is doing that is about peace or about restoring order, and he's trying to turn a protest that is pretty small into something that involves an even bigger confrontation so that he might actually be able to invoke the Insurrection Act.
So he wants more. They get away. They say, we want it to be peaceful, but he knows very well how it will go if we get more.
Yeah, of course. And that's why I fully support President Trump meeting it at the intensity that it's at. I think we should be unafraid to sign the 1807 Insurrection Act if this continues. We cannot allow what happened in 2020 where we said, well, local state officials, nope, not going to happen. We are going to meet force with force. You're going after police officers. We'll bring in the National Guard. We'll bring in the Marines. If you remember the May of 1992 Rodney King riots, they were engulfing Los Angeles. H.W. Bush signs the Insurrection Act. Within like half an hour, all of those thugs and all of those bandits went home and scattered because they were met with the one thing they understand. The only thing that what you are seeing on the streets right now, they understand, it's not reason, it's not persuasion, it's not acquiescence, it's not surrender, it is force. That's it. They need to see a stronger hand than that they have. And unfortunately, there is an underbelly of America that wants to see the world burn. Like Joker said in The Dark Knight, some people just want to watch the world burn. That is the Democrat Party. They've never had gratitude for America. They've never loved our history. They've never loved our culture or institutions. And I'm not saying every Democrat in the country believes this. I'm not even saying every Democrat politician does. I am saying this, though, that ideology is holding the entire Democrat Party hostage. As you can see, it is dominant. And in LA, once one of the greatest cities in America, is a captured and a fallen place. I'm confident that we can liberate it because I actually believe deep down the vast majority of America is so on board with what President Trump is doing. This is one of the reasons why he won a popular vote majority. This is why he won electoral vote landslide. One of the major fundamental reasons is that President Trump was standing up against these elements of darkness. People want deportations. They want these criminals and these thugs out of the country. And again, if all the people that we were deporting were just nuns at the local Catholic church, then we wouldn't be seeing what we're seeing in the streets. Instead, it shows that there's a widespread, well-connected, and fierce network of criminals that we must remove from this country.
This administration is working very hard to try and fix this country. But while they're focused on fixing the country, they can't fix your personal finances. That's really up to you. And that's why thousands of Americans are turning to Birch Gold. In the past 12 months, the value of gold has risen by 30%. Think about that. How's your stock market investment doing? Has it gone up 30%? Have you made 30% on your money? And demand is strong and it's growing. While reports are that the BRICS nations are actively working to challenge the US dollar as the world's reserve currency, that's not great. In other uncertain times, gold has offered peace of mind, and in these uncertain times, it does the same. Birch Gold makes it incredibly easy to convert your existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA backed by physical gold. Or if you prefer, you can buy gold to store in your own home safe. Just text MK to the number 989898, and Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, only useful information. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, take control of protecting your savings today. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.